Trashidele, I offer you the the 3 times of Buddha's aspiration, which are immeasurable bodhicitta and compassion in Buddha's begging bowl. Trashidele.
Opening prayers, page 1, in the yellow book.
Tarpadang tam jen jen bar bar de je bar se pa tam je je zor se ma nam ka dan nyam be sen jen dan je de wa dan de dong a dan da nyo da la na me yang da bar zo be san jo ram bo je do bar za.
All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
Jeda sanja sambaya solan de ye jasanja jeda manje de ye ja sanjo tone jebada zambala bala de dar ye ne pada devyan dola pendende Sanjo sene jej dana la bala ramba yendo la baya.
I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path.
Sanje jedang soje jono lo sanjo bade dane jasanje Daga jem so jebe so nam je dola pensa sangje do bar yo.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Oi ma nam ga da nyam be sim je don je de wa dan de ve ja dan bar jo je dong a je ja da wa je dong a me be de wa da man da wa je ra ja da ni da ve dong yo la ne ba je.
May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Vajrakilaya text, page 1. I to the spoken word lineage I pray, primordial konduzang dorje chang, jani serukas leki wang mo, pravahasti dorje dorjan sal, dreame shanyan fin tamer bliss queen, Shila Manju Shakya Devi king, and subjects 25 Nanam Gem, Shubha Rangzong and the clan of Gun. May the fortress of the view be gained, to reveal treasure lineage I pray. Chuki Wangju Bloom Driggs and Godam, untarnished Vajra Sangeling Pa, Wrench and Baozong and self-liberated, Padma Ling Du Du Nu Den Samling, Dorjet Salratun Chugurling May, meditation's peerless path be crossed, to the Dharma holders who transmit venerable manyak a glorious disciples newborn and zuzur long, youthful atsara long love jangdor, his 4 disciples darcharan zang, rochal ter dagling chag may the rest. May conduct's life force be ceased, I pray, to Gilaya's divine mandala, Vajra Sattva embodiment of peaceful and wrathful families display, Dharma Vajra, master of secrets, Vajra Vidarana, cutting through the root of delusive thought and you, deity within whom is complete, all enlightened acts to tame beings, body of compassionate wrath you rise, from Dharma space, great blazing tamer of demons, the 100-mood dancer, splendorous great Heruka, Vajra youth, Mother Gola Gedab, union of primordial wisdom and basic space, 10 powers, perfections, 10 royal pairs, beast-faced ones, gatekeepers, oath-bound ones, mighties and the rest, to you I pray. Grant complete victory over Mara, a dark blue weapon, perfect itself. Arisen Rigpa shines forth in the place of life force as wisdom wrath when the pervasive wisdom Kila strikes into open Dharma Dhatu space. May it sever dualistic thoughts, skandhas, elements, and sense sources. The 3 seats fill Vajra channels, wheels, an elaborated consciousness is fulfilled as great bliss Vajra when the Kila of boundless compassion strikes the beings of 6 classes. May they seize the lifeline of compassion, the union of wisdom and form signs, meaning symbols, generates sparks of terrifying, blazing, wrathful ones. When bodhicittas Kila strikes the mother secret expanse, make clouds of emanation, sublime suns emerge. Beings in existence are present as Vajra wrathfuls, yet they grasp at appearances and 3 poisons when the material Kila of signs that never lets go strikes harm doers. May their pain be brought to a final end. When conquered the skandhas, demon karmic, body is freed as the deity. Conquered the demon of afflictions, is sealed up with bliss and emptiness, conquering the death demon, one gains dominion of immortal life, conquering the demon of gods. May we gain the spontaneous perfect ground. May the four hacks and equalities be swiftly accomplished, and specially may the flames of wrathful mantra rites incinerate the evil hearts of hindering enemies and obstructors. May glorious Heruka state be gained. Namo, I and all sentient ones with reverent three doors take refuge in the Guru triple gem, yidams and victorious host. Namo, I and all sentient ones with reverent three doors take refuge in the Guru triple gem, yidams and victorious host. Namo, I and all sentient ones with reverent three doors take refuge in the Guru triple gem, yidams and victorious host. Alas, to free all sentient ones by transforming samsara to Karma Kila's mandala, I'll rouse for him immeasurable zealous to free all sentient ones by transforming samsara to Karma Kila's mandala. I'll rouse for immeasurable zealous to free all sentient ones by transforming samsara to Karma Kila's mandala. I'll rouse for immeasurables. Page 7. Om Banjaramrita Kundali Hana Hana Hoim Pen. Om Sobhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Sobhava Shuddha Ham. From the state of emptiness appears a drum, from which arises a jeweled vessel. Inside the vessel is an Om, from which appears a torma, which transforms into nectar. Om Ahong, Om Ahong, Om Ahong. Om Prithvi Devi Lokapala Saparivara Panchasamanta. Om Prithvi Devi Lokapala Saparivara Edam Baleng Takakahe Kahe. Om Prithvi Devi Lokapala Saparivara Edam Baleng Takakahe Kahe. Om Prithvi Devi Lokapala Saparivara Edam Baleng Takakahe Kahe. Om Prithvi Devi Lokapala Saparivara Argam Padyam Pushpam Dupam Alokam Gande Naivedya Shanta Gods, nagas, harm bringers, spirit kings, planetary beings, furious ghosts, humanoid beings, ghost man leaders, sanmos, manmos, flesh eaters, mammals, spirits who haunt towns and mood demons, devil goddesses, goblin demons, local guns, spirits owning this land, custodians who guard the sanghas well, treasure guards, lords of this holy site, other hosts of gods, demons, spirits, bound ganyan, spirits accepting this golden libation and dharma prepared with the purest substances. Ease your minds of hostile, wicked thoughts. Be my virtuous allies at all times, as I strive toward great awakening, making effort for sentient one's sake. Please make the conditions favorable in this country's regions and places, earth protecting Tenma goddesses, earth lord spirits, kings, ministers, and retinues, accept this torma of pure substances and this golden drink, without being troubled, jealous, or intolerant, as I practice to accomplish my purpose and wishes. Grant me this place of precious treasures, as I'll fulfill your wishes and hopes. Let me gain the fruits of my actions. Page 13. Every time. In spontaneous nature's palace, vast even the concepts of obstructing and misleading do not exist when it is seen as be the mandala and its boundaries are established freely, naturally, Om, in the pervasive primordially pure and spontaneous open expanse concepts of confession and confessed self-liberate in their natural state. Yet should there be confusion caused by grasping at perceiver and perceived, I confess this ignorance to the host of self-arisen deity Samaya, pure Amrita, primally self-born Rakta, redness liberating the 6 realms into basic space, great tour, all phenomena present in the ground. These 3 are the inexhaustible, unceasing elixirs, Om, Hong, Om, Panzer, Pushpam, Dupam, Aloke, Agande, Naiwede, Shabda, Ahong phenomenal existences, the boundless palace amid a blazing dark blue triangle, the mandala, wherein the eternal grounds enclose an expanse of wrathful wisdom, flames within the boundless palace made from primordial wisdom, self-projections at its center, on lotus, sun, moon, and 4 tangled demon stands up, Hong, dark blue, beaming light gathering it back. I arise as unfabricated, perfect form, great, glorious Vajra, a youth, dark blue, with 3 faces, 6 arms, and 4 legs, spread wide Lama's right face, white left, red central, dark blue. My crowns adorned with the 5 families. At my heart is the life force seed. Oh, mine eyes glare fiercely to the 10 directions. My gaping mouth show fangs and twisting tongues. My 2 right hands hold 9 and 5-pronged vajras. My left hands wield a fire mass and Gadvanga. Between lower hands I roll a Mount Merakila. Thus complete I am with all fearsome charnel ground garments. Great consort core loged a blight blue. When face 2 arms, her right hand holds a blue lotus and embraces my neck. Her left gives a blood skull to my lips. In our foreheads blue karyam yum. In our throats red hayagriva pear. In our hearts blue yamantaka pear. O'er our navels chartreuse tutsi kilwa yabium. In our navels dark green mio yabium. In our secret place blue tobchen pear. In our right shoulders white namgyal pear. In our left shoulders blue young and pear. In our right thighs a pink to yellow couple. In our left thighs amber kamsum couple. In 4 directions 4 supreme sons. In 10 spokes 10 wrathfuls with consorts and animal faced emanations. Each of these 24 wrathfuls has 3 faces, 6 arms, 4 legs spread wide. Vajra wings charnel ground adorn. Man's wielding weapons marked with their own signs. At 4 gates 4 beast-faced gatekeepers round the mandala's periphery. Sons nations oath-bound attend and dance the assembly Shwana Remat. Earth sisters copper iron and conch beings appear. Thus the principal deity and court are generated in the main deity's heart on a sun. pint-sized wisdom being Rosakila in his heart. Sun stanza, grain-sized gold Vajra, where and Hung is encircled by the mantra. At each deity's crown is an Om at their throats and at their hearts. Holding 10 directions, Buddhas now confer blessing and empowerment. Our crowns adorned by a Moga city as its sign. Page 71. Om Vajrakilaya Suru Suru Prasuru Aditishta Mug Mug Hala Hala. Enemies, obstructors, and evil spirits, your chitta rotten Madaya Hoin Pain. Om Vajrakilaya Magutala Magutala Pratala Pratala Shatarata Hum. Enemies, obstructors, and evil spirits, Madaya Hoing Pain. Om Vajrakilaya Zola Rakta Zola Mandala Mandala Raksha Raksha. Enemies and obstructors, Washam Kurum Madaya Hoing Pain. Filled with furious compassion for all evil ones, the sublime sun becomes passionately concerned for all beings of the three realms. I manifest as the great glorious one. In my right palm is a white upon a moon mandala, and in my left palm is a red moon upon a sun mandala. On the 5 fingers of my right hand are moon mandalas the size of lentils, upon which are Om, Hong, So, Ham. On the 5 fingers of my left hand are sun mandalas the size of lentils, upon which are Mum, Lam, Mam, Pam, Tam. Dissolving into light, the seed syllables transform into the 5 implements. From these the 5 families instantly appear as the 5 male Buddhas and 5 consorts. Om Mahashunyata Jana Sobhava Atma Koham. Samaya ho, samayat stam, Panzer Anjali. Rays of bodhicitta light emerging from the union of the male and female deities dissolve the kila into shimmering light, transforming it into a blue hong. Om Vajrakilaya Hongja. The Hong transforms into a dark blue, wrathful one with one face, 2 arms, and 3 eyes. He holds a kila in his right hand and an iron hook in his left. His lower body is a 3-sided sky iron kila with a savagely sharp tip, like hot iron drawn from a blacksmith's burning embers. He flashes with sparks of fire. I visualize Hunkara at the upper knot, the 8 wrathful ones at the 8-sided shaft, and Mahabala at the lower knot. All 10 wrathful ones are together with their consorts and animal-faced emanations. At the 4 sides of the lower knot are the 4 gatekeepers, and below the water dragon are the 4 king warriors. At the 3 blades are the 12 Kilaya guardians. Every pore of myself and the sublime sun is filled with tiny dark blue wrathful ones the size of barley grains. With mouths wide open and fangs bared, they each have 1 face and 2 arms, and they brandish various weapons, reverberating with the sound of Kilaya. They fill us completely, leaving no gaps. The foreheads of the deities of the threefold mandala are marked with a white Om, their throats with a red Ah, and their hearts with a blue Hong. Ahong, terrifying, blazing, wrathful one, intrinsic nature of Buddha's forms, risen from Vajradharmata to cause us to rise in this precious form. White light radiates from the Om syllables at our foreheads and makes delightful offerings to the forms of the victorious ones of the 10 directions. All the compassionate blessings of their enlightened forms are gathered back in the form of Om syllables. The light dissolves into our foreheads and causes our bodies to blaze with sublime splendor. Thus we embody all the Buddha's Vajra forms. Om Buddha Kilaya Kaya Banzarnen Zola Zola Prazola Prazola Shpoda Shpoda Sarvanasa Panaya Hong Pe. Ahong, terrifying, blazing, wrathful one, intrinsic nature of Buddha's speech, arisen from Vajradharmata to cause our speech to rise as precious speech. Red light radiates from the Ah syllables at our throats and makes delightful offerings to the speech of the victorious ones of the 10 directions. All the compassionate blessings of their enlightened speech are gathered back in the form of Ah syllables. The light dissolves into our throats and causes our speech to blaze with sublime power. Thus we embody all the Buddha's Vajra speech. Om Padma Kele Kelaya Waka Banzarnen Sarva Dushtan Trishodanaya Hoang Pit. Ahoing, terrifying, blazing, wrathful one, intrinsic nature of Buddha's mind, risen from Vajradharmada to cause our mind to rise as precious mind. Blue light radiates from the Huang syllables at our hearts and makes delightful offerings to the minds of the victorious ones of the 10 directions. All the compassionate blessings of their enlightened minds gather back in the form of Huang syllables. The light dissolves into our hearts and causes our minds to blaze with sublime force. Thus we embody all the Buddha's Vajra mind. Om Vajrakilaya Chitta Banzarnan Petale Mandala Magutala Pratala Hoimbed. The light emerging from the seed syllables of the 3 mandalas, 3 vajras, pervades the 3 realms of samsara and empowers the life force of all sentient beings with primordial wisdom. The 6 afflicted states of beings living in the 6 realms of samsara are purified and transformed into the 6 seeds. Ni, Su, Chi, Pre, Do. And these 6 seeds then melt into light, transforming into Om Ahong. The light then gathers back and dissolves into the 3 places of the sublime sun and myself. The 3 realms are thereby brought under our power. Om Ahong. Om Ahong. Om Ahong. Wispapasvari Samaya Zahon Bam Ho. Ahong, love, compassion, your skillful means to help and tame beings as they require to complete Buddha activities. Please grant empowerment and cities here. With Swaparana appear, light rays radiate into the 10 directions from the Hung at our heart and touch the victorious ones, the embodiments of the 5 kayas together with their consorts. The mind streams of all those who have gone to bliss are invoked, and they are supplicated to grant empowerment. Thus the essences of their body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities descend like rainfall that possesses the nature of the 5 heroic seeds. With Samharana Hung, they gather at the 5 places on our head where they dissolve and transform into Om, Hum, Cham, Shi, Ah, and Mom, Lam, Mam, Pam, Tam. These transform into the 5 main karma herukas, appearing as the Buddhas of the 5 families with consorts. The nectar that flows from the point of their union fills up our bodies. We become adorned with the blood-drinking deities and consorts who abide in union at the palace of our crowns, and the empowerment of the 5 wisdoms is perfectly fulfilled. Light rays emanate from our hearts, inviting the wisdom beings. Revealing your blazing wondrous forms risen from the pure and unborn sphere of Dharma to great Vajra youth with your court from that sphere. Please come here to accomplish existence as you and be granted empowerment. Siddhi's wrathful wisdom, King Vajrakilaya, with your court, please come here and bestow Kilaya city. Please manifest all the signs and symbols of success. And break the grip of pride, Dorje, symbol and retinue. I pay 1 pointed a jati puho pratitsa ho hong a raise of offerings mine made and real go emergent union outer and inner and secret I present to the projected self-born deities. Please receive these offerings non-dually, without acceptance or rejection. Om Panzer Argam Pajam Pushpam Dupam Alokam Kandehine Vedye Shabda Pratitsa Ahong great Rita crafted from 8 main and 1,000 branches, great secret rapta of glacial space I offer with the great Orma the elixir Maha Pancha Amrita Rakta Balangta Kahi Hong ignorance a mountainous pile of flesh craving a swirling ocean of blood hatred a born heap these we give to Dorje Sempo and his retinue. Om Ahom. King of wrath, great, glorious Vajra, youth, Dharma, sphere, consort, Gorlogim, depth and wrathful kings, wisdom and means, formed and wrathful queens, from the innate sphere, emanation sent to engage, axe, tiger, headed Zazu with fangs, bared mandalas for directional guards, slaughterers, 12 kilaya guards, and beings of copper, iron, and conch, and all other oath-bound kila guards, homage and praise to you and your host. The times come to fulfill your heart pledge, fulfill direct destructive actions. Oh, glorious, great Vajra, youth sons court dance, fiercely and collogadams expands, sound emptiness, mantras, melody, roars like thunder, thus I will practice until the samaya is fulfilled, and the ultimate expanse of space. Light rays radiate throughout the 10 directions from the seed syllable and the mantra string at my heart, invoking the 3 roots samaya from their very hearts. All their blessings of body, speech, and mind descend like rainfall in the forms of white Om, red and blue Hong, dissolving ceaselessly into my 3 places. Then all the blessings and powers of all the victorious ones, compassion in the form of inconceivable Vajrakilaya deities, large and small, gently fall and merge with me. The deities of my body mandala, as well as the deities in union residing within my channels, are like the seeds of an open sesame pod. They and all the mandala deities recite the mantra, resounding like a broken beehive.
Kitela Rinpoche, Kodok.
다 레롱도 이식을 롱 되게 랑 통고요래 레롱 되게 다 도와주러 가 다다 남도 그 지선 장래 별로 시단들 나오는 데루가 예수 그거는 지나 가량을 와야서 마치 새로 단샘이 샤바sab들이 라고 세도 나고서 도요래 단샘이 독다면에 되게 지레사 같은 기왕을 체라들은 동행용을 때 독대 뉴무가 독당지래서 제가 롱들 사축집도 다 다다디 레롱 이식을 롱 사축집들 롱다 이식을 롱이야 다 따라오래 레롱도 다 단지게 나오냐면 롱에 롱도 냠이 짜리 하고 그래
So we're almost over, the Drupchen is almost over, and I still need to say a few words about the essence of the Vajrayana practice. And so the essence is really its distinctive quality is bodhicitta. And there is the bodhicitta on the basis, on the path, and at the result. And what Jigten Sumgön spoke about the horse, the excellent horse of love and compassion. So the mind, your state of mind is like a horse. And for example, if there is a selfish mind that clings to thoughts, that is also a kind of horse that takes you for a ride. And then also the altruistic mind is a horse. So there's two kinds of winds. There is the karmic winds, and there's the wisdom winds. And whatever the mind follows, this is where those winds will take you. So we can say that the thought is the person that's riding on the horse, and then this wind is not the horse that takes you somewhere. And there is the karmic winds and the wisdom winds. There is the horse of bodhicitta, which is the wisdom wind. And then there is the horse of self-grasping, which is the karmic wind. And that will take you to the 6 realms of samsara. Now, from a practical perspective, there are many disciples who possess great mindfulness and awareness. And if you possess such mindfulness, whenever a thought or emotion arises, recognize that instantly with clear awareness. It is said that understand the true nature of the afflictive emotions, the falsehood of the afflictive emotions. If you understand the afflictive emotions, you will not accumulate karma. And instead will follow the wisdom winds, and the wisdom winds always attain freedom. The karmic winds take you to the 6 realms. So now, for example, if you follow those karmic winds, if you follow your thoughts, for example, you get very angry, even if you don't do anything with your body or speech, the mere presence of this resentment, this disliking state of mind, that is what is like that is like poison. That is this kind of negative, this negativity in your mind. That is that karmic wind that will take you to bring you a lot of suffering in many future lifetimes. That is why we say the afflictive emotions are like poison. So, and then there is the wind, the winds of wisdom, or the horse of bodhicitta. So you basically have the karmic winds and you have the wisdom winds or the bodhicitta winds. They are all like a horse that take you somewhere. The karmic wind is basically self-grasping, the thought of my, me, and then all the afflictive emotions that come from that. In your practice, it's important to get to the root of that. Lasso?
대에다 롱되게 담배 출력되고 많이 봐. 상촉생의 재미를 놓대는 직접 먹들 접나요. le ka kang dap to mare ka chi dang te chung chi pa che chi ma do ko mare yo ti ji ka re me chi ta ja ka de sa ni ta ta da ber ja ka ja to che tu le sa do ke ba yo ti ja li ji ja ka ya ko che ko da sa na ta ja ka ko tok thong che to yo re o nga chi sa ro te pa che ba go yo go re la na do mai 저기 물럭지 없는 사업체도 저거 저거 요리 대외에 세도 따데 가디는들이 사족체도 따로 그러네 남이 가리잖아 토마들이 잡서도네 이거 초초는 잡서도네 고초초고 가리 페기로 고초초고 사족체도 제고 요리 체베 사족체도 제고 요리 고초초는 되는 답이 취지 봐 사족체를 대외들이 냠리 가레치나 토마들이 잡수 도지 이제 샘지걸 잡수 도지 잡기 시다 페이기요 말 또 샘지바가 페이고 샘지바다 이도를 나도 이도리 제발에 대외들이다 상당히 다포라지 상당히 요번 매대게 취직이 자와 가리 제네 고야고 나마야고 요야고 연거요래 대대 상하게 취대 3年级大的熊过来的，甚至到大的来龙的，一些个龙你看看些过来，这时候他把套过来，来龙就是人呢，多少都能差不多有来，一些个龙就是人呢，大部分看能多都不有来，这时候到我过来。
And so when it comes to those winds, it doesn't only apply to the practice of the Dharma. We always anyone needs to understand that, because there's a person who possesses bodhicitta, a wish to benefit others, even if they don't practice at all, they just engage in mundane activities. And even if they can't really do anything, even there, whatever they do embark on, they will not, at least not encounter any obstacles. There will be no faults coming from whatever they do if they possess love. For example, there may be a person who really cares about their country. There's many great scholars and so on out there, many great, really intelligent people who just really want the best for their country, for example, and they want to protect their country. And if their intention is pure, then they will also accomplish that. Then there will be no obstacles to whatever they set their mind on. But then if someone only thinks about themselves, they will not be successful. So most important, even in the world, in a mundane way, we need love. We need to have bodhicitta. And so we need to take the horse of bodhicitta. Our mind needs to take that horse. And so from a practice perspective, in the very beginning, whatever practice you do, we always start with taking refuge in the 3 jewels. And why do we do that? It is because through the 3 jewels, we receive immeasurable love, bodhicitta. And that's really the Dharma. The Dharma is bodhicitta. So whatever practice you do, it always starts with that, with taking refuge. But then that alone is not enough. We also must cultivate bodhicitta. And that's actually most important, to cultivate this motivation of bodhicitta. Because this is where the difference between karmic and wisdom winds happens. Whether or not we cultivate a motivation of bodhicitta determines whether or not we have an altruistic mind or a selfish mind. That determines which horse we take. And so we have to take the horse of love and compassion. So anyone, whatever they do, whether it's in the world or when they practice the Dharma, if you ride that horse of love and compassion, it will all be good in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. So especially as we practice the Vajrayana, we need to ride the horse of love and compassion. So it's very important for a practitioner to understand the difference between the karmic winds and the wisdom winds, because we want to attain liberation in a future lifetime. And if you keep following those karmic winds, that will only bring you to the 6 realms. If you follow the wisdom winds, that is what will bring you to the pure lands. So you have to clearly understand this. So, we will take a short break now, but when we come back, we will continue the teachings. So please rest.
home. Oh, yeah. Teacher. They tell me home.
Mahong, everyone.
home, she's on the later. Not the Taparan, they have over. Tamar, Lute, Chupare, Joangare, non-septipare, Numoangare, Numanga, Missy, Shigare, the same color of Madapare, don't that with them at Thompson, the Giga Mevade, so much the hung did it. Don't that happen. Maybe teacher, Mevana, Mevana, child. On Toya, dog did it. Jumantavers. This had the demon, said the jail money. One year don't talk the law. The Giga, Jerry Madaba, never wanted the Jumantavers.
Actually, if you understand the meaning of Amahong, then you understand that the universe, everything that appears and exists, is an infinite field of purity. All of our bodies are the same. It's the 5 elements. Our minds are the same. We have the 5 afflictions. When they mature, they become the 5 wisdoms. So that state of mind does not inherently exist. When you see the actual reality, it's almost like nothing really exists. The entire universe and all beings, all seems to be not really exist. And however, you may then wonder, but then if it doesn't really exist, then why do we see it? What we see is fictional. It's not actually real. The Buddha does not grasp at a reality, at a true existence, and therefore sees that all of these appearances are really fictional. They do not inherently exist. That is the understanding of emptiness, that nothing out there truly inherently exists. Everything appears, but it appears like an illusion. Also.
Oh, Tritata, something Ramji, something Ramji Hakon, something seven meanable, the road don't have meanable, so Jonas, so simply something don't have meanable, something is. There is the okay, they want the devil just on the market, something, devil just for it. Don't give it just what dance. Don't give maybe they watch walk away. Dungi me ba chu dan di chik chak me no sem khoran nam kha na gi de ki ore nam kha la dungi chik chak yo mari te tak pa chu sa je sa de de ma de ke le dungi me ba de wa chu mo na sem ne lo gre te ha ko sa sa je le na rang ge de shi mo de le te ha ko che de sang de rang sa ha ko yo ma re rang sang song le tu ji me rang sang rang ha ka ba ko chak ta shi ma re They are gorgeous, they sang out the stock tissue, the long same Saudi Bahama or this song.
When you understand the nature of love, you understand that it is the only medicine for sentient beings, for the mind. In the Bodhicharya Avatara, it says it's the only medicine for sentient beings. In the morning when we read the opening prayers, we say, may beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. The only cause of happiness is love. The only cause for suffering is self-grasping. And where can we find this great happiness, great bliss that is without any suffering? If you let go of all your self-grasping, then your mind abides like space. And space does not experience suffering at all. And that's the nature the Buddhas dwell in. That is the nature of your mind. It is the state of great bliss without any suffering. That is your Buddha nature. But it is hidden. So it is called the secret mantra. Secret because even though it's right there, you cannot see it. You don't see it. That is what we call ignorance. In the great bodhicitta, as like a text, it says that the ignorance is that ignorance means that the true nature is kind of naturally hidden from yourself. So no one is hiding it, but you're hiding it from yourself because you don't know how to look at yourself, even though it's right there, your mind's right there, you still don't see it, you don't understand it. So that's really the meaning of the secret in the secret mantra. Yeah, so.
콜로는 제가 요래서당 콜로 공전 되게 새 콜로 잡는 사람 진짜로 저기 타마치 토대당 콜로 장장은 띵 거래 콜로 그냥 띵대 오 들이배는 새 배잖아 사초 남들은 봤는데 소탈 못 잔다고 그래서 사초 선물 릴리자고 그래서 상하 남들다고 그래도 남가슴지 된다고도 대배등에 야바이 라고 셈 초알라 때는 이 가리래지노 소타그 라게 때에서다 나 좋아지는 진우 접대 봐 집이 접대 사시게 뉴모가 남들 쳤다고 요래 별라라인 소드면 너게 대화를 쳤다고 요래 내가 저렇게 사폭 도폭으로 그래 그 사시데 년람들이 이 강의 년람들이 임피를 로이들라래 이 장고나들이 세고 콜로 장된 콜로 되고 저 또대도 건데 생기 동달 세송들이 생기 동달 사제가 생기 동달 쪽으로해서 근데 남들이 루기 동달 되는 것은 올림픽들이 제공가리 때 루디스가리 짤장도 르라테도 줬더니 난 세고 되래로 검색고 답을 상상하는 그 셈대 전에 그 삼대 다 답고지만 줬더고요 다 되는 거 보던 치마리 삼대 때 저말이 주마다버는 거 보리 삼대 가정들이 이다 하구나 돈답이 봐서 대선이 좀 하고 다 돈답 대봐 통통한 오 죽은 거다 생난 거다 그래 저띵 코데기 주탐지 좀 하다 그래 상황 그리 다리들이 그 소리를 말이 대다 우리 하고는 우리 상한 남는다고 그래죠 동태에서
And he said, all suffering without exception comes from wishing for one's own happiness. And so all of this is also related to the wheel, the garland that we mentioned. So there's this outer wheel, anything in the world that turns, all the different technologies that science has developed, all rely on some sort of wheel, something that turns. And it's because a wheel has great qualities. So that's just an outer example. And now applying it to the path, we have the 3 levels of the path. And there's an inner example for that. And that's actually an example that I myself came up with just from my own experience. So the Pratimoksha, individual liberation path, is like traveling on a car. The Bodhisattva path is like traveling by train. And the Vajrayana path is like traveling on an airplane. And so why is it that? Why do I see it that way? Because, so first in the individual liberation of Pratimoksha, there still is some self-grasping. So we are traveling in a car, it's a bit slower, but we do travel because there is a wish to not harm others, and there is a general wish to benefit. And then later in the Bodhisattva path, we take the afflictive emotions as the path and we transform them. So the Bodhisattva and the Vajrayana paths, they transform suffering into happiness. So the Bodhisattva path is like going on a train. It is more direct. A train can cut through a mountain at like a tunnel directly. So it is called a path of transformation. And what is it that transforms? It is the altruistic mind. And now in the Vajrayana, for example, when we visualize the mantra wheel, the mantra garland, and then we are sending out light rays and we're gathering them back, this is all mind training. the Buddha said mainly you have to train your mind. So people know about training. For example, they train their bodies. In the Olympic Games, there are athletes with very trained bodies, and they have kind of brought about a real ability with their bodies. And if they're able to transform their bodies in such major ways, then obviously we can do the same with our mind. It's actually easier with the mind. You just have to train the mind. But we can transform the mind into the Pure Lands. And so pure means that there is no more grasping at a concrete, true, material existence. It means to see that everything is illusory or fictional. And when you see that, you will see how things really are. When you see how things really are, the mind becomes like space. That's the Dharmakaya. The Dharmakaya is like space. So that again, seeing of Dharmakaya comes from knowing that all phenomena in samsara and nirvana, everything in this world is illusory. And then this is why we call the Vajrayana, it's like traveling on an airplane. That's so.
사자기 르시는 숨바예리 점제 퍼송 마도 바다미 도장 상무자서 초다비가 도마니 다면서 하고 요래데 초때 마다의 점제 마시나 just 족셈의 띠니 나디디 쇼고도 서르데 하마오나 오 다면가 도마니 상 강평만 저저데 뉴모바 나디디 되게 로아를 도등에 요는 거리 대회나 점제 마시 중가리 다다 성과 가셔야 되더라고. 보고탐제들이 파마근 로성 15 땅을 롭달래 쪽 롭달 쪽 로성 15는 어디 가서 그래. 뭔가 칼라라 되게 비샤 사도나기리 파마를 삼때 제일 맛이들이 파마는 강이 하마오는 저랑 롭달 지도 민가티 어때도 대저 된 정탈티 보고 대답들 쌈로 가르쳐. 따라 하시자 좀 하는 가봐만 보더라고. 다들 보고 담배들이 뛰자면 나한테 셔도 쉬어그러 말고서 다톡 파마는 뛰어야도 매라 들이 뛰어야 뛰어치면 샘도 너도 남도도 산담 나봐도 너를 잘로 나한테 다톡과 동해에 매나 다 줄은 느릴 거야 요 말. 라시 자도 뭐 다톡 다 라시 자 롭다는 소나 롭 방법 파세 랑처세 대답도 나한테 좋은데 대하 고는더니 다음에 주제 용띠다 다음에 주매면 중가리 좀 되면시베 좀 되를 무시베 중대 용띠 되래 좀 되하 고 성선아 잡을 그 막지 텐다 보이 왔대는 막 공산주 작합상 고도랑시 따들고 고도랑을 남는 노랑한테 작합도로 소리 쏟고 요래 예돈 소리 쏟고 요래 이때 코치다 되다 사지 탐지 잠이 들으라게 르소 포탁 정말 잡고 자티도 저 루스당 상투세도 사요래 이때 되나요 때다 오랑게 작합만 망장장 산지랑 소리도 또 대탐상 적세네 개별은 도요 센티바디 하고 요미 하고 말미네 줍데 시베 중 줍데 마시베 중데 줍데 시베 용티 대저 하고는 이상하게 답란장서는 또 사적들들 다치 볼 거거나 이 사적들도 하고서는 상들이 되다 동이 매베데 와친 보다 다톡도 담 있어 매비시 그런 세계는 거서는 들이 내lok도나 지바고는 매지 그럼 진노진은 다 소발해 제만하레베 내lok도 바로는 시랍사와 논도메데 다다 시랍데 바로도 생고나 오 로정 로만 모르게나 라고 생고 내lok데 마도나 다음 세부 다 주고만 나중에 그래지 대통대 맞추나 다음 다 주용할 때 시랍도 바로도 생요 말해서 서그 생고 내lok도 시랍도 바로도 말해서 대서 이제 말하리 계속 말해 네 생고 내lok도 고쳐서 다 콜로 거든 콜로 찍고 그랬더니 들은 삼대 이전 공무원 때봐 정공원 삼인지 정공 동해삼 정공가 용띵삼 용띵삼을 때려 대박을 주바펄 오마 동해서 때려 삼대 고도 참 그 삼대에 잡다 맞잡 생고 따라 들리네 조사마 재미있게나 감정 생기다 농에 람 주시네 농에 시파사 kunjong o doge je dadi ri sha dadi ka dadi ngala dokta ta rang dadi mena tri ji dadi tor to kore te ta ha ko te so de ta ta nga khor de go ja ha ta chi pa to no te ri ja nga ta ka pi ja go ma nga ta ka te so go mo jo go no na ra ge sem bu te ri sem ni ba to lo ta go re te je ma la ri be so na te ri 돈이 살랑시 봐라 사람들은 마음대로야 되는 사람들은 바데 얼마 뜻이 그래 시치 그래 되더니 남다 단체 봐지 이제 남다 가리 오 주상한 양면이네 상하다 상처는 양면이지 쉽지 답지 제와치 뭐 차를 색도 주고 차는 뒤는 약합 약도 답지 다음에 약도 뒤에 삼태와지 약도 탐지 들어와 약합 주고 그래 대도 대야 가는도 대 다장 장탐 그 지원기다 막돌라서 거들이 라왕 메바테니 레가 체리얼 대 삼체리 대는 세배 낭배 싸움을 때 세보다 뒤에 시골 대시 지체데 들상아 고고데 대리 대하고 땅문이 대 세배 낭배 썸더울 이 세비 지도 좋아지 그래 대고도 기체 뭐래
So the essence, really, of all things, all these fields of knowledge in this world, of all the things that we can learn, or the most important thing is really to understand karma, cause and effect. Sadhya Pandita said in the words of excellent advice, one who has not realized karma, they may, even though they have realized selflessness, such a person will not attain enlightenment. So you may understand that there is no self. But if you don't really understand karma, you will not create the cause of love, of bodhicitta. And you need that in order to actually melt self-grasping. So you may have an intellectual understanding that there is no self, but it will not melt away. The self-grasping will not go away until you give rise to bodhicitta. And so if you understand that, now you will understand, basically it comes down to understanding karma. So even though you understand that there is no self, that's not enough. You will still experience the suffering in the 6 realms. And that is because you don't really understand karma, cause and effect. For example, there's, in some places, I've heard people say that their children don't really naughty, so the parents spend a lot of money sending them to school, and then what do the children do? And they just really see like their parents as some kind of immaterial object, like say, earth or rock. They just bring the food and bring the money and all of that. They don't appreciate what their parents do for them at all. They don't really feel the love of their parents, and they don't understand at all how hard the parents work for them, what they do for them. And then they say, I don't want to go to school, I just want to play all the time. And then often, where does that end? Often they even commit suicide. So people actually called me many times and complained about things like that. And so then so ultimately, if what can also happen is if there is no love for your parents, eventually the mind, but you only think about yourself and you don't think about others at all, and you don't even love your own parents. And so then your mind becomes so solidified. It's like you become completely stuck in some kind of mental mud. And that can only lead to suffering. So often people then try to escape it by committing suicide, or children go to a school and kill others, shoot others in a school, and then they kill themselves. And all of that is the fault of self-grasping. So it's really important to understand the fault of not really understanding karma and the benefit of understanding it. If you understand karma, for example, there have been survivors of the First and Second World Wars. like great people who really cared for their countries, like leaders and so on who cared for their countries, and they would even give their own life. I mean, they would even risk their own life to protect their country. And in the end, they may have come out without being harmed in any way. So we can even see that in a normal samsaric sense. And when we look at the Buddha gave up everything for the Dharma, and then he accumulated merit throughout 3 endless aeons. But first he gave up. Before that, he gave up everything. He gave up his kingdom. He gave up his wife, his child, his wealth, everything, for the sake of bodhicitta and sentient beings. And so there are also people like that in the world who are very courageous, and they risk their lives for their countries or for other people. And then their mind really follows a path of virtue. But often, because we don't understand karma, we don't really recognize that. So it's really important to actually recognize the principle of karma and understanding it, and the goodness that comes from it, and the faults that come from not knowing it. With that understanding, we can then engage in the practice of Vajrayana. But first and foremost, we have to understand that, and we have to understand the preciousness of bodhicitta. If you understand it, you then can reach a state of great bliss that is without suffering. That is the ultimate state. Your ultimate nature, which is non-dual primordial wisdom. Longchen Rabcham had said, when you realize the nature of your mind, there is no higher learning than that. And Milarepa had said, aside from realizing the nature of your mind, there is no other perfection of wisdom than that. So if you want to perfect wisdom, you will not perfect it by just studying for many years. Even if you study for many years, if you haven't realized the nature of the mind, there will still be some doubts in your mind. You will still not really have gained confidence until you really see the nature of the mind. You have not perfected wisdom. So this is what Milarepa had said. And so now coming back to the visualization of the mantra Galan and reciting the mantra, all of that is in order to realize the nature of the mind. It's all a method. So when, for example, we cultivate love, that love turns into devotion for the higher beings. That's when we think about their great qualities, then our love becomes devotion and an offering to these higher beings. And then when we think about the suffering of sentient beings, then that love becomes compassion for sentient beings. And then this love then becomes all pervasive. You have to see for yourself whether or not your love is all pervasive. If you have pervasive love, then the suffering of all beings in samsara will come to your mind at once. The Buddha said, you have to understand suffering, and then you must abandon the origin of suffering. So what is the origin of their suffering? It's self-grasping. Where is self-grasping? Actually, I have it. It's in myself too. If I destroy my own self-grasping, then I can also help others destroy theirs. And so this is related to the visualization of the mantra garland, the wheel in the Vajrayana. That's why the wheel, this garland, is very important. And the recitation of numbers is secondary, it's not so important. It's more about the time that you spend with it. It's that time and that focus that you apply that will generate the power in your mind. Milarepa also said that isn't what we call the bhumisa and the paths just an increasing clarity of emptiness? So basically what we call the different stages of the path is just emptiness becoming clearer. And then he said, and on that path, we need the ornament of a road sign, a sign. So there are signs along the path that keep us on track. When we practice the Vajrayana and the bodhisattva yana, a sign on the path is an increase of love for all sentient beings. This is what makes your mind become powerful. We also see it in a worldly sense. For example, there may be worldly leaders who start countries that where people may experience freedom, and that's because these leaders care for their people. They have love for their people. They want them to be happy and enjoy freedom. And then there's other leaders who just care about themselves and don't really care about others. So they take away their freedoms, like a communist regime, for example. So then people just work, but they don't have any freedom. That's just an outer example. The actual secret example, or kind of secret aspect to it, is it all comes down to self-grasping. And this is related to visualizing the mantra garland in a secret mantra. And so if you really reflect on that and then really come to an understanding where you feel that, oh, that's really it. There is this outer, inner, and secret aspect, and secretly, ultimately, it all comes down to this, not to self-grasping. So when you reflect on that, you will develop a real experience of it, and from that experience arises a trust. So that's why we need to habituate or meditate the mantra wheel. Also.
Tili drupche de tangma sango re pele shi drupche ga pe tombo che ga re kari che de tangbo rang ge nyami de te nyami che ba ka de le yi chi che de ne lo da ha ma go ba de ce chi du go lo sang mo tang sango yo re tili jong ta cha ma gong ge de ta ta ja ka to ya de ka de de o dong xi li mang bo le do gua zao guo cha le tili yo de jin che be ba re tili ju je de de ni ta nga sarma songa jawar muju ko songo yore tuje kholo sa tuje kholo na tuje kholo ji tuje kholo salang ji sam songo yore nga nyingma ga na da rik so re la da rik so mjele o chukolo ko tokso ko songo ro ba de nam ji de tamje ko songo ro ji re de o kowa de chukolo ro yore o kowa de ge nim ro ro chukolo ro re 가리 쪽을 도거든. 오, 대식 dimong이 상속을 심지를 대식 뭐 요래. 얘는 상속의 동에 말이지. 주님은 봐도 이건 나타되지 미주 제걸. 미성도 민간이라고 그래지. 미성도 되게 다 도착해서 떠먹성이 나타되나? 미성스는 소리 대다로 요래 대다마서 그래. 다마 제설 미성스는 셔도 요만이. 그래서 타바토로 사제고만 두고 뭐 요래. 이 성수 대신 감독으로서 민감적으로서 아무튼 잠벌게 동네 답제 대화를 동네 대화를 저터 봐야 들이라는 소리면 동네 청청 답제는 저터 봐야 빵주 빵와 저와 시바 섬 상하고 냐면 상하고 빵줄 시서 저 토탈 그 빵고래스 상시게 전토요래스 펜서를 저토요 용진이 좀 용진이 저토래 상하게 시바지 이제니 답발해야 내가 맞아 로버트 바데 오자 로버트 베트서 대 상하는 시바지 이모만 이시레스 가래시 야주 다하고로 세당들 나오나 세당들 하고 찢적지가 말이지 유무가 탐색대로 이모가 이제 시다는 동가도 늦더리 장소이 카게 시방낭이 돈 양도 용을 때는 요야 요래 그래서 다 찾아가는 참아 듣지데 라라기디 다다 지르데 시랍들이 빠잡자리 때라나 그랑 냠살이 좋은 랑 쪽고 다자케들이 좋아요. 진짜 고 말에 또 냠살이 좋거래. 다 찍는 냠이 체가는 냠이 좋게 공단 냠이 있잖아. 가지를 디스를 다자카라 당전에 가지 냠이 있잖아. 요래지. 오 다자카는 좋아 요 말이 롱更一棒啊这카타게 진짜 매봐 요래. 소속을 받게지 라카 고자가 난 토바토들 라카도 고시바나지 코도 딱봐 유지 콜로 뒤에 봐 딱봐 유지 콜로서도 하지 내니 봐 오미 취지에 저기 봐 딱봐 유지 콜로 콜비바 34쪽 서봐요. 초로사쪽 셈지라 되고 제도고요. 되기 받게래. 배도 주체에 와서서 냠이 제주체는 개기 냠이 제를 되게 저거래. 그래서 지조 과탑제 깔리마 보자 깔리 자루도 잡아 초조요래시 로쪽에 들어 점만함지에 초반함지에 누가 강해서 반 쏘르래 말이래. 저정근함지에 들이 다 강해 주바 검토거래. 주변에 파도 서바톡 다다 조요래지 남네 sabje kalwe jamna yagare ma jamna na ka ta ka nyamne chela ne pa de che be ba yore lakha go se ba na ji shakam ta je ra ji chap de yore ma la de nam tha me ri che ja yo ma te la nga yin jo nga ka chap de yo de chap de yin jo nga de se jo nga nang yu mo nga sa wa shi nga da ta go se me tam je de yo go de da na nga de 나발이 자총아 남지기 샤용을 봐지 남종이 샤용을 봐지 어디 나지더니 뒤다르더니 하고는 유몽이 시에지 대테스 한번 돈 거래 들ita 다다이 우리 뭐 대절 들ita 렉선데 들ita 자칼라 조과 삼년 남의 조과 삼년 다시 되래 들이랑 그 잡을라 마탐제 시작이 그랑게 치냠용 대타 고아점 잡과 탐제 샤차와 이런데 대들 막 또나 고주 고요래지 공룡 또 좀좀 거래지 들이 갈래 또 특별히 답제게 여기까지 들이죠.
And so the Drupchen is often also kept a bit secret, especially the Yamantaka Drupchen is quite strict. And so why is that the case? Why is it also strict? So it's because first one has to, in order for one to really practice it, one has to have some understanding and trust, belief in it, and then also a single-pointed focus on the practice. So that being said, in the end, we ended up also holding those Drupchens live on live stream, and it's all recorded. So why would we do this now? It's because nowadays there are many people already that do understand the meaning of the practice, and that's the most important thing, to understand it. And then that understanding just needs to be applied to practice continuously. And the recording allows them to practice this continuously. In the new tantric system, for example, His Holiness the Dalai Lama spoke about the three aspects of Kala Chakra. He said there is the outer Kala Chakra, the inner Kala Chakra, and the other Kala Chakra. The Nyingma tradition speaks about appearances, the nature of appearances, sounds, and awareness. Or in other words, that everything has the nature of the three kayas, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. And so then what is samsara? The 6 realms of samsara, where there is suffering, this is also part of the Nirmanakaya. And how is that the Nirmanakaya? It's because all beings possess Buddha nature. Even if they are in the 3 lower realms and experience suffering there, they still possess Buddha nature. And why do they experience suffering? And how can we view the suffering? So the suffering is like a symptom from the disease of the afflictive emotions. So if you're sick, then you go to a hospital to get treated. And so we can actually see the lower realms as these hospitals. We are sick with the disease of the 3 poisons, and we need to purify them. We need to heal from them. And we do that by going to the lower realms. And then once this karma is all purified, we don't just die, but we become liberated from the lower realms and eventually attain the state of Buddhahood because we possess Buddha nature. So if you see it like that, actually, you see the lower realms as like a pure land or like a hospital. It is a way to transform suffering into happiness. And this is how you can see all the suffering in the world. It's a way to transform suffering into happiness. as it is explained in the 37 bodhisattva practices. So the 3 levels of the path are all a way to eliminate the afflictive emotions. The pratimoksha path abandons the afflictive emotions. The bodhisattva path transforms them through bodhicitta. It transforms faults into good qualities. And the Vajrayana path knows them, knows their nature. When you know their nature, you understand that actually those afflictions, what they really are is awareness. They are primordial awareness. That is what is meant with they are primordially pure. That is your true nature. The mind is just obscured temporarily. So the Vajrayana knows. That is what we call the view. And if you have the view, even if anger, for example, arises, if you have the view, the anger cannot do anything. And the same is true for all the other afflictive emotions. It is said that when you understand the true nature of afflictive emotions, all suffering becomes an ocean of blissful nectar. And so this, once you see this, you can say that this is how it is because it comes from your own experience. So science, for example, now coming back to the Drupchen and the TV and it being recorded on live streamed, this is also possible due to science, technology, and science is also a branch of wisdom. So science has enabled us to view things in such a way, in a video form, for example. And it's a way for you to practice continuously, even when you're by yourself at home. And you can just play the recording and you don't need anything else. It's all on the recording. You don't need any other offerings and so on. And you can just do the practice. You can practice through such a recording, for example, for a month-long retreat, or you can do it all your life in the morning and in the evening. You can just turn it on and practice. And in this way, you're always practicing. It's always available. It's not like just when there is a program, you can do the Drupchen or the practice. It's always accessible, always available. And that actually relates to what we mentioned yesterday, the 5 certainties of the Vajrakaya, the timeless wheel. The certainty of time it's timeless. It's always present. It's an endless wheel of time. So whenever you play it, it's like you're opening the temple doors and you're right there. It's always there. That's also the temple is like the certainty of the place, which is the Pure Land of Akarnishta. It can all become like that. And the certainty of the retinue is the bodhisattvas. So if you have bodhicitta, that is what will allow you to open those temple doors and access it at any time and practice continuously on your own. So also holding an actual Drupchen also involves a lot of hardships, but these hardships also accumulate a lot of merit. For example, if you have offered some wealth, some sponsored some part of the Drupchen, that's the paramita of generosity and also making offerings. And then also it requires a lot of physical effort, and that is the paramita of discipline and also the paramita of diligence. And then you persevere through it, even if it gets difficult. And that's the paramita of patience. So by just coming to a Drupchen, you're actually practicing the 6 paramitas. And in general, it is better to endure some hardships for the sake of practice. But the recording and the online version of it also is a method for you to practice continuously, maybe without so much hardships. It's like when you turn it on, you're opening the temple doors, and that is possible because of the nature of the Pure Lands. They are all pervasive. As we also learned from Milarepa, everyone has heard about his life story. In the end, he said, I will not die. I will always pervade the 5 elements. So on the outer level, there are the 5 elements. inwardly are the 5 afflictions. Secretly, they are the 5 primordial wisdoms. And also, as part of the descent of blessings, for example, when we visualize those the Sambhogakayas in space, the way they appear is like a 5-colored rainbow appearing in space, and a rainbow just appears naturally in space. And if a sign of it is when you like a sign of having understood that afflictions are actually wisdom is then this appearance that you actually see rainbows appear and so on. A sign of having transformed afflictions into wisdom. So this is how you should think about the Drupchen. And so this is why we have recordings, and it's also live streamed. And so and now, also in the end, that completes the teachings, and I would like to say thank you to everyone who is here, also everyone following on the live stream. What I've shared with you is what I've learned from my own root gurus and just my own personal understanding. And it is really just an understanding, not even if I haven't realized everything. Ultimately, we need to understand, we need to experience, and we need to realize. And if we follow this path, then slowly we will all realize. So thank you very much, and Tashi Delek. Also.
다들 기지 못해서 다다디 냠리 탐지 돌 되나 그런 것도 초가를 따로 돼 너무 저도 찜지서 말했지 바차라서 또 이도 발상 매바디는 뉴모 뭐 저도로 찜제들 시들도 봐 레저도 바차도 봐 데리도 봐 제들 뒤도 봐 제들 다외하 고소는 참아들이 라도를 돌아와서 뒤송제 그렇게 뒤인데 돈나 르바하 고소는 유모 제체지 동데 내로 요래 들이들 자식들 강치 뭐 하지 놓지 뭐 요래 들이 죽어가 자식 가리 죽어 자식들 니바시 그 요래 죽어가 니바들 로거래데 로거 시험남자 로거 기반가들래데 로거가 니바티这个人你就看了就过他大概确实啥话是吧这里等了破年节这里进来的毛经济这里就这种嘛这是这个身体东西吧他们这人的这个这是老个这是这个人的你做这种这些的来
Actually, one more thing, an important thing that I still need to mention, and so that is, in brief, when summarize all the practice, during the tzok offering, the feast offering, there's the horse dance, and so in there it says that the mass of afflictions, the 6 causes, the 4 conditions, the karmic imprints born from ignorance are suppressed under Mount Meru, which is the self-born empty awareness, Rigpa, suppressed into the perfect ground. And so here, these 4 conditions, it refers to the karmic imprints. There's 4 kind of karmic imprints, 4 imprints, or karmic obscurations. So there's the afflictive emotions, the karmic obscurations, the subtle obscurations, and to omniscience, and the obscurations of habitual pattern. So these are the 4 conditions, and when you see your true nature with awareness, then they are suppressed under that, so which is Mount Meru. They are suppressed or kind of destroyed, they're obliterated through your self-born empty awareness, through the power of your awareness. So meaning that the 84,000 afflictive emotions are suppressed under this mountain. And then there's in the verses of auspiciousness, the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. And so for the meaning of that, so the, what does it say, the auspiciousness of the primordially pure, spontaneous expanse of Dharmakaya, may it be present in the Sambhogakaya's luminosity. So that means that the power of the Dharmakaya, the auspiciousness or the power of the Dharmakaya is the Sambhogakaya. And as we mentioned, the Sambhogakaya possesses the qualities of those 5 certainties. And then may the auspiciousness of the manifold Nirmanakaya be present in being's compassion. So then the power or the Sambhogakaya itself, the power of the Sambhogakaya is the Nirmanakaya. And then how does this manifest in this world? It manifests as the various activities, like worldly and mundane activities and Dharma activities that benefit others. Any male with compassion is Chanresic, and any female with compassion is Tara. So those Nirmanakayas engage in the welfare of sentient beings. So the auspiciousness of the Dharmakaya is the Sambhogakaya, and the auspiciousness of the Sambhogakaya is the Nirmanakaya. So that is the last part. So.
Oh, the Kotoka Dimba, you move to raise it. You move to raise it. They saw talking with one that would they were homes and anything. You move over in a teething. There is a dog on some paper around the Pai Shi Propagani. You move about talking good. Put the other thing so by your essay.
And then here there's this purba stand. And so what it represents is, in our blessing, it says those 6 seeds. So it's marked with those 6 seeds: Arni, Sudri, Re, and Du. And these seeds, they melt into light and transform into Om Ahong. And the essence of that is their wisdom, awareness, Kilam. And so this is how through wisdom awareness, how the seeds of the 6 afflictive emotions of samsara become transformed. And so that is the meaning of this, the symbolic meaning of this purba stand. And so this here is the wisdom awareness Kilam. And when the wisdom, the wisdom awareness Kila strikes into the open Madhatu space, it severs dualistic thought. So when there's no more self-grasping, then the all-pervasive wisdom Kila is planted.
The me tata to a digger that a tawaki and a single hakona, they can numerous wonder tomato their tago, lamgati, numerous catation or Toriana. Then the secret I do the me tata to one got just 1 minute over the that you provide to be that.
And so for this wisdom awareness Kilam, it says that it sparks with the flames, like sparks of fire, of wisdom fire. And so what it means is that when you know the view, when you know the nature of your mind, you are able to let go of the afflictive emotions. You're able to subdue them, tame them. And so that's something you have to see for yourself. Are you able to do that or not? And that is your sign of practice. If you're able to rest in awareness, no matter how many emotions arise, then that's a sign of having accomplished Vajrakilaya. And that is this kind of apocalyptic fire that we mentioned that burns away all the afflictive emotions. So that's the sign of accomplishing Kilaya. So.
From the mantra garland, light rays and a second garland issue forth, passing from my mouth into the mouth of the consort. The self-resounding mantra proclaimed by the inconceivable dakas and dakinis. The consort's four chakras arouses the mind stream. From the consort's secret place, the mantra garland enters my vajra, and the deities residing within my channels proclaim the sound of the mantra. I visualize the mantra garland dissolving ceaselessly into my heart.
Om Benza Kala Kala Yanza Hong Pang Kadam Kaya Jaya Benjaya Anza De Aparanza De Marasena Damardan Sarvam Bene Pavam Bevom Benza Kala Kala Yanza Hong Pang Kadam Kaya Benjaya Anza De Aparanza De Marasena Damardan Sarvam Bene Pavam Om Benzer Kala Kala Yanza Om Pavo Kadam Kayenza Yen Benjaya Anza De Aparanza De Mara Tamadhanaya Sarvam Bene Pavom Bevom Benzer Kala Kala Yanza Om Pavo Kadam Kayen Benjaya Anza De Aparanza De Mara Sena Tamadhanaya Sarvam Bene Pavom Bevom Benzer Kala Zahom Pavo Kadam Goyen Zayen Benjaya Anza De Aparan Marasena Damadhanaya Sarvam Bene Pavom Be Uma A U Re Le Le O Ang A Ka Ka Gang Gang A Ja 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 Nya Ta 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 Na Ta 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 Papa Papa Ma Yara Lava Shaka Zaha Ja Oma A O Re Re Le Le O Ka Ka Gang Gang A Ja 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 Nya Ta 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 Na Ta 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 Na Papa Papa Yara Lava Shaka Zaha Ja Oma A O Re Re Le Le O Ka Ka Gang Gang A Ja 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 Da 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 na da 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 na pa 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 ma yara lava shaka saha kya sova om benda sato sama manapalaya benda sato teno pa tidanda do me bawa sate kayo me bawa sate chayo me ba anarato me bawa sarva sate me daya sa sawa kalma susame teta sheyam kuro hong ha ho banga Sarva Tanga Tam Benza Mamim Benza Benza Bava Ma Samaya Sato Om Benza Sato Samaya Tidane Me Bava Sute Kaya Me Bava Sopo Chaya Me Bava Onurato Me Bava Sava Sute Me Baya Sava Karma Susame Siddhan Sheyam Kuro Ho Bang Sarvada Dangada Benza Mame Benza Benza Bava Maha Samaya Sato Om Benza Sato Samaya Manapalaya Benza Sato Teno Tidanda Do Me Bava Sute Kaya Me Bava Sopo Chaya Me Bava Anurato Me Bava Sarva Siddha Meta Sava Karma Sudame Siddhan Sheyam Kuro Ho Bangave Sarvata Dangada Benza Benza Bava Ma Samaya Sato Ome Yedharma Heda Tabava Hedin Tuken Tatangada Heyo Vade Tuken Zaya Narada Evam Bodha Mahashamana Yeso Ome Yedharma Heda Tabava Hedin Tuken Tatangada Heyo Vade Tuken Zaya Narada Evam Bodha Mahashamana Yeso Ome Yedharma Heda Tabava Hedin Tuken Tatangada Heyo Vade Mahashamana Yesova
Glorious great Vajrakilaya and divine court, please come here. I make outer, inner, and secret offerings. I praise your body, speech, mind, quality. conditions, heedlessness and confusions, vows marred broken, lovingly consider me with compassion and please grant all accomplishment to me. Page 36. Gurus, knowledge holders, deities, dakinis, and oath-bound ones gathered like clouds in the sky. Through the power of your pasamaya, please consider us with love and shower down great blessings upon this mandala and us yogins. Existence as Vajrakilaya Vajrayana. You and your mandala act with great compassion, unbiased, unobscured, with timely Vajrasamaya. Please send down great blessings, send great waves of compassionate activities upon this unsurpassed secret mandala of accomplishment. Please send down great enlightenment such mind blessings, grant supreme five wisdoms, empowerment. Time has come to grant empowerment and send down blessings from the secret sphere of Vajrakilaya victorious. Vajra Lord, with vast pledge you bestow unsurpassed Vajra empowerment. Deity whose single oath is to give unwavering protection bestow. Bless